up? It's Kathy, and I'm back with another Trim Your Stash video, and this one is going to be one of those ones where the the final concept and the final layout is quite simple, and it's kind of sad how long it took me to get to that point. And I did have to cut out quite a bit of moving stuff around because this video would have been a half an hour long, I'd say, even with me speeding it up to 4 times. So think about how long that would have been. It would have been like 2 hours of me scrapping. And you'll wonder at the end how it took that long. But my main goal was to use up a little bit of the Starshine collection from Chamel. And when going through it, I realized how much, acetate pieces I had, and then I realized how much pieces I had that involved, I don't know, space and stars and that type of look, but I really loved the globe that said, "Let's go on an adventure." So I end up using a bit, and I end up using some of my chipboard from the collection. I only have a few of the papers. I didn't buy this whole collection when it came out. I did really like it. I just wasn't buying stuff when it came out. So I'm just kind of incorporating some of it in, and I'm going to incorporate some older chipboard that I think I've used in at least one of these Trim Your Stash episodes. And I got it down from 3 sheets to 2 sheets, I think, and now 2 sheets to 1 sheet. So I've been able to combine a bunch of chipboard into one pack of chipboard. So that's really an accomplishment for me. And I started out really liking that design that I had there. And in the end, I forget how I even laid it out, which is just 2 photos and a globe. And so it doesn't end up looking like that at all. Which is a little disappointing because I really did like it, and that's what started the whole thing in the first place. But oh well. I realized after I glued down this basil cardstock that I didn't cut out the middle of that paper, and I actually had wanted to because I like the green on the other side. And that's when I'm like, oh man, I didn't. But I remembered that I only glued the outer edges of the white cardstock down, so I was actually able to cut a kind of jagged square from the back. But I know it seems counterproductive when I'm doing, you can see it there. I know it seems counterproductive when we're doing a Trim Your Stash video, but I know I will use that color green because I really like that color green. So I had some strips that the rainbow is from the A Simple Stories summer collection. The polka dots are from the carousel collection, and then I took a piece of the globes that you saw that is actually from the Starshine collection. So most of my issue is trying to figure out how I want to lay these strips down. You would think it's 3 strips of paper and I should be able to do this, but I can't. I don't know if it was just, I think I'm just trying to scrap through a creative block or something, because usually when I'm kind of having a creative block, I will go online or look at things or do that, and suddenly I'll have one of those moments like in TV mysteries, like in Matlock, whenever they would say something and someone would say something and it would suddenly, Matlock would be like, ah, and like something would clue in and he'd realize what he needed to do or something. It's like one of those aha moments. And I'm not having one of those. No matter how much inspiration I try to look for, I'm kind of lacking in that department. So it was a struggle, but I'm still glad that I did it. And these photos are actually from, I would say 2000, would they be 2009? Yes, they would be 2009. So this is actually my first son, Seth, who is 8 now, and so he was born in January, so this is the summer after he was born, so he'd only be like 5 or 6 months old at the time. So this is a really early picture. And it's actually one that I have scrapped them before. I scrapped ones with his father and just him and us, and it was just a 2-page layout. And I scrapped it back like in maybe 2009, 2010. And granted, it's a 2-page layout, which is good, but I don't like it. It's way before I ever got to a point of liking my layouts, and it's before I bought products or anything like that. So it's just kind of sad looking, quite honestly, and I don't like it. I'd rather split the photos up. So that's what I did. So I took some of him and then I'll scrap the one of him and his father, and just the ones of him by himself type thing. Anyway, so I thought with this one I could use pinks and flowers, but still use some kind of masculine ideas as well and kind of combine them because of the style. And it's so weird to see myself with long hair because it's been cut short for a little while now. So it's a little, and to see 2009 self is also also kind of weird. It's a little awkward. I'm just like, oh, I used to look like that. Why don't I look like that anymore? Oh, right. 3 kids and 8 years later. Yeah. Uh, I got to get over that. So I thought these were really cute little photos to do, and I just did them up as squares. I find it sometimes a little easier to work with square photos, just so I don't have to think about it. I could do a grid layout if I wanted, or that type of thing. So I cannot tell with those balloons if I have taken off the film. I know there's a film on that little acetate banner because I do take it off, but I spent forever trying to take off the acetate covering, the plastic covering to the balloons, and it never had a little spot where you could, like it never gave a little so you could tell that there was something. And in the end, I just glued it on and said, forget it, it must not have one. And I do try again, but I'm going to assume I must have taken it off at a later time. So some of the chipboard, I used as much of the chipboard as I could that did not talk about space or stars or have anything like that. I'll save that for a different layout that's a little bit more like let your dreams soar and stuff like that. This is really not, this is more about adventure and new beginning and, you know, new motherhood and stuff like that. Yeah, there I go, trying to once more just see if there was one. But in the end, I mean, I like how this layout turned out. I was really glad how much I used up. I know what I can do, that I have acetate that all kind of combines together into one theme now afterwards, so that's great. And I have reduced between the Chamel sheet and that Project Life sheet and another chipboard sheet that I found that's really old K & Company stuff, that you can see that Daydream back there. That was one of them. I managed to get all those into one pack because of how much stuff I've used, so that made me happy. I'm going to use 2 of the banners because after putting the first one down, I realized that I can put the second one down. Because it says I'm pretty lucky, and I think that's really cute. And then I'm going to do a little cluster in the bottom, but I'm not gonna put like a journaling tag or anything down there to use. I could have. I just put a label, but I didn't do anything with the label. It's more for decoration. And the end of the video, you will see that there is journaling. I did put journaling on this before I took the picture, which is kind of unusual for me to actually do, but I really wanted to put that star in. Like, really wanted to use that star. To the point where I had to cut out me trying to find a place that I liked that star because of how long I spent moving it around. So I'm trying to use a few more circles just to make the layout a little bit more, I don't know, softer. I find when I'm using a whole bunch of strips of paper that it can get a little, I don't know, a little too harsh maybe. And I like softness, which is why I tend to use textures like tissue paper or string or different things like that. Or I rip the paper edges just to have that kind of softness. So I have all these chipboard words and phrases, and there's 3 different ones, and they're from Bella Boulevard, and I've had them for at least a year or 2. Some of them came at different times. And I'm kind of running out of stuff that I want to use them for, or that they say that I like. So I went through the 3 of them and grabbed a whole bunch of words or phrases that I liked. So I'm gonna make this huge title, which is just the white. And my first instinct was, okay, well, so this is gonna be white on white. So I'm using up all this white space, but I'm not heavying up the layout. And then I color them instead. So that just went out the window. But I do like them colored, and I like how it turned out. Now with these ones, when using them, if you have them, remember to glue them down because they do not stick well enough. I find they will eventually come off. So I always forget to glue things down. I know one day I'm going to have to go back into all my old layouts and glue stuff down. But I do end up gluing them down, and then I take some of the plus signs and using up more. So I'm really glad at how much I got to use up with these. And some of them I've lost the letters to because they fell out, so I won't ever use them anyway. That's why I had to make my own L for the love, because I'd lost the real L. It had fallen out and probably got swept up or something. So yeah, I have these little plus signs that are just kind of using up more of that white. And I think this is about the time, oh yeah, I'm gonna stamp, and then I'm just using one of my new stamps, roller stamps. I think it's from the Dear Lizzie's Stargazer collection. I just thought it was cute and nice to just do some little stamping around. I'm just using hello and love, and it's not perfect, and I'm going to kind of make it haphazard as well around. And yeah, that's when I think I'm done. And then I decide, no, I'm going to grab my gelatos and I'm going to do rainbow. So each word is going to be a different color. And I mess up a little because it gets on my hands and then I forget to clean them off before I rub the other ones. But you can see what I'm doing is just creating like a half, almost like an ombre in a way, where the color is just going up half of the letter, and then I'm just rubbing it with my hands. This is probably something that I would recommend doing not on the the paper, because you might get it on the actual paper, which I did, especially with the red for the most part, but I did end up covering it up with a few dots of ink at the end when I did my splashes, so I wasn't too worried about it. And my greens, I was really disappointed because after I was done with the yellow and I used this pretty lime green, which is one of my favorites, it ended up looking so yellow that I had to like cover it over with some other colors to just at least try to make it look green. But I'm still happy with it in the end. And I just thought that this added a little something to it. Now, off screen, I end up doing this with the plus signs as well. I end up half coloring them in with all the colors. So I did that off screen. But yeah, that is about it. I think I'm going to finish it off with this Ditto royal blue ink that I have that I bought a long time ago at Walmart, or not Walmart, Michael's, long before I even could buy other inks. So I really love it. It's great for stuff like this. And that is about it for this layout. So thank you guys so much for watching. Pictures are coming up. I will see you in the next video. And have an awesome day. So yeah, later days. Bye. guys, in case you didn't know, I have started a Patreon channel, so if anybody wants to help support my YouTube channel as well as some of the scrappy adventures that are coming up, I would really appreciate it. Even $1 a month really helps out. But even if you just like and subscribe and comment, that really helps as well. Thank you so much and have an awesome day.